Nikki Haley says Trump campaign sent her birdcage after he called her bird brain.
He's brilliant, dude.
Bird brain. So, let's see what Liz has got to say about this one here. Liz, I'm really curious to hear your take on this one. Okay, so former comedian and President Donald Trump. No, that's not the headline. But Nikki Haley draws insults from Trump and sign she is gaining ground in the Republican presidential race. Former President Trump launched the entire thing, calling about, bird brain and declaring MAGA or I will never go bird brain Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley gained recognition for impressive performance in a recent Republican debate, earning praise for her rhetorical prowess. A post-debate poll conducted by 538 shows that 62% of respondents rated her performance positively, signaling a notable boost in her standing with GOP race. So, one, what do you think about the gift President Trump sent her? And then two, do you really think that she's becoming more and more formidable, or it's just a season here? What are your thoughts?
Well, I don't doubt she put a picture up on social media of the bird cage and the bird seed. I don't doubt that there it is. I don't doubt that she received that at her door. I'm a little skeptical that it came from the Trump campaign. I think someone who did it just for a gag and signed the Trump campaign because they knew that it would get the attention that it gets. I'm not sure that that's funny enough that the Trump campaign would actually do it. He's never done anything like that. And he's not worried about Nikki Haley.
He's not worried, but you know what? Hold on. I wish I was there if it is true. If he was like, you know what? And hey, bird food too. But you know what? I saw that pen. I thought if it is true, hands down, what a gamer. He doesn't give a damn if you're male, female, young, old, cute, ugly. If it's a competition, if that's true, he doesn't give two shits. He's going after your ass. And if that is him, that is one of the funniest things, Pat, because I know he's trying to trying to go after her brain. That guy's hilarious, bro. He's a comedian.
I mean, it's funny. I don't know. I am very skeptical that it came from the Trump campaign. I think it came from some
She makes a great point, by the way.
You never know.
Can you confirm this? Because I don't see anywhere that Trump's camp confirmed sending the birdcage. Tom.
You heard what he said after Chris Christie. You saw the Chris Christie Donald Duck, cringiest insult. And Trump's response to that was hilarious. He said, anybody who comes up with an insult like that isn't fit to be president.
It goes right back at it. Well, beyond all the merriment here, and there's a couple of charts you have here. It's very, very interesting stuff. So national polls and national headlines right now, they don't matter. Here's what matter. What are the people of Iowa and New Hampshire really thinking, and are those polls moving? Because that's where the spring points are going to be. Right now, the national polls,
my God,
they illustrate a little bit, but the national polls are not what's there. Take me to New Hampshire. That's Iowa. Let's go to New Hampshire. Take a look at that little red line in the lower right corner.
Look at DeSantis's green.
Ugh.
He's not afraid of Nikki Haley.
Who's in red right there? Is that Nikki Haley?
So basically, I look at it like this.
God.
What if all this legal stuff does take Donald Trump out of the campaign? I don't think it will, but if it does, there is a second game that's being played down there. You see what that is? And that is called win the New Hampshire primary, and you're going to win more support. Now let's go to Iowa. Look at Nikki Haley. Boy, what a shot there. Now in Iowa, look who's number 3. Nikki Haley. Now she's 8.8, clearly above Ramaswamy now. So what is happening is in the polls that matter is where we're going to be voting in these, and it's not a fair game. Iowa and New Hampshire are going to be springboards of contributions and support and everything. But I look at it, and Nikki Haley is running a really good campaign, and she is now honestly number 2 in these states and gaining momentum bit by bit, including with these headlines that may or may not be true about bird cages.
I still think he did it, Tom. You know why I think he did it? Because there's a clip of him speaking a couple days ago, Pat, where I think Rob has it. I don't know if you saw this, Liz, where he's talking about how they're trying to be environmentally safe. And he said while he was president, somebody came to him from the DOD and they were like, sir, we have a new fighter jet that we want. It's environmentally friendly. And he goes, who gives a damn if it's environmental? We're dropping bombs and shooting people. Who gives a damn? Rob, do you have that? So
I
that's
thought
why
it's supposed to screw up
he's
the environment.
hilarious. He's hilarious. Listen to this.
I think there's music though.
Is there music? Rob?
Yeah, there's
oh,
music,
damn it.
man.
But it is hilarious. If you haven't seen that clip, that's why he's a
He's
comedian.
not wrong.
Yeah, he's 100% telling the truth. So I was like, with that type of humor, I wouldn't see him. I wouldn't put it past him, Pat, that he sent this.
Here's what I'll say.
I want to know who actually said that. We're making jets that are environmentally friendly.
Well, they want to make. They suggested making one that is environmentally
What
friendly.
part of war is
I don't-
environmentally friendly?
Tell me. That's the,
my
the irony
God,
of it.
like
And
these-
that's. I'm pretty. But Pat, you know the Department of the DOD is probably for sure going. Listen, some woke guy like, let's make a jet that is, and he's like, we're dropping bombs on these people. Who gives a shit about the
Hey,
environment?
Gino, we're gonna kill your
Yeah.
brother, but you know what? We got him a life insurance policy first.
I wouldn't put this past the DOD though. Did you see that
I would
story from
argue that
last week?
blowing people up is a form of recycling.
But back
It's
to
so freaking
back to Nikki
dumb.
Haley. We were at the RNC debates. I don't know, 4 days ago, a week ago, whenever that was, in Simi Valley, California. I thought she performed very well. I thought she was the winner of the debate. I thought I had her first. DeSantis was kind of up there. You saw that in a national poll. I know that we're not crediting national polls, that she's actually the one person in the race who would significantly beat Biden. Not Trump, not DeSantis, Nikki Haley. So what we do know is he actually did call her bird brain. That's not like fake news.
Yeah, he did.
He tweeted it. And, if we trust modern journalism today, journalist Mark Caputo confirmed the birdcage was sent by the Trump campaign. But to me, that's irrelevant. Whether he sent it or didn't send it, to me, is the fact that he said it. We all know that his jokes and his slurs
Well, I
and
love
his
Rob. You have that
epithets-
clip? You have the clip with no music?
Hold on, Vin.
Oh, my bad.
The deeper thing here, and I have mixed feelings on Trump, and
I love him.
slowly coming around to at least understanding where he's at, because I do think there is two things can be true at once. I do think the media, the deep state, the Matrix, there is an agenda to bring this man down. I don't think that's deniable at this point.
Yeah.
Actually, and at first it was Russia. Well, it turns out it's actually some fake news going on.
Yeah, some.
But at the same time, he could also be sort of a reckless, wrecking ball, narcissistic, as many people call him, man-child.
That's
Two
fine.
things can be true
100%.
at once.
Yeah.
Okay? Just because you're this way doesn't mean that the media or the deep state should attack you. So I understand why he has vengeance and he's vindictive and he's essentially seeking retribution for whatever wrongdoing he sees, but more importantly, the wrongdoing that he's fighting for in the Republican base. Totally understand that. My question is this. So I don't know if you saw what his former chief of staff, his longest standing chief of staff, General John Kelly, came out with this weekend, a scathing rebuke. My question is this. Nikki Haley, bird brain, he selected her to be the ambassador of the UN. Mm-hmm. Why would you select a bird brain to represent your country? You selected Mike Pence to be your vice president. Why would you select someone that is disloyal and doesn't have your back to be your VP? He selected Bill Burr. He selected Mike Pompeo. He selected Chris Christie to be the person that would train him. He selected Scaramucci to be. My only question, this isn't a statement, my only question is, why are all the closest people that he's selected now his biggest detractors? And that's something that he needs to address, my opinion.
Well, I mean, he came. Go ahead, Liz. Go
I
ahead.
actually agree with that. I think that Trump was a very good president for 3 years. I don't think he handled COVID very well in his fourth year. But I think one of his shortcomings was how he always ended contentiously with various staff members. I don't think that that's a very positive commentary on him. I will say I thought Nikki Haley was a fantastic ambassador to the UN. She did a really, really good job
agree.
there. I don't think that the Republican electorate is going to like her, regardless of whether Trump is running or not, because the vast majority of the Republican electorate right now is against the war in Ukraine and against sending more U.S. money to Ukraine. And Nikki Haley never met a war she didn't like. She's kind of this generation's neocon. And I don't think that that's a good match. And she's very outspoken about it, too. So I think that there's a pretty big mismatch. I think she'd have a hard time, even if Trump were out of the picture, which I don't think he will be. But I think she'd have a hard time winning support from Republicans who, especially the Republicans who understand that sending so many U.S. dollars to Ukraine is devaluing our dollar, which is increasing inflation, which is going to cause the rest of the world to, discard the U.S. dollar, which is going to lose us our economic power in the world, which is really our biggest strength. I mean, there's an existential threat to our country that's happening in Ukraine, and it's not just the actual battles that are being fought there, it's the policy, and she's in support of it.
Yeah.
Well, Liz, I don't disagree with the quant that you just made there. That's a very good quant. But when you look at it, the voters are going to go with the choices they have, and it's all the choices that are on the ballot. And she's on the ballot versus these other choices, and that's the plate of fruit to pick from. And so you look at it right now, she's shining and she's showing, demonstrable. And by the way, I'm not voting yet, so I'm not lobbying here. I'm saying objectively, polls are showing in key states and on national reaction polls that Adam was talking about that she is reflecting well against the other alternatives. And I think what you may be saying differently, or what may be behind your point, which I would support, is that the truth of what America really feels on a broad scale, there's not really the choice that they would overwhelmingly go for based on their absolute proven and defined views.
Can I ask Vinny a story? Can I ask Vinny a question?
A story?
A question. You can tell great stories. It's purely out of genuine curiosity. I love the exchange you had with Steve Schmidt last week. Shout out to you. That clip went viral. You did your thing. Part of what gave you credence and credibility was like, look, I served in the freaking military.
Yeah.
I was there. I wore the uniform. I was in the Air Force.
Yep.
Then there's this whole conversation about Trump versus the generals, right? Whether it's General Milley, General Kelly, who was his first general that Matt Sapala interviewed. I forget, Mattis.
Yeah.
Mad Dog Mattis. A lot of these guys are finding issue with Trump. So I'm just going to read the words, and I want to get your thoughts. This is Kelly, General Kelly, his chief of staff, basically saying my issue with him was that he thought that all wounded soldiers were suckers. He did not want to be seen in any sort of parade with them. He didn't want them around.
And this is the general saying, this is hearsay, this is...
Well, is
it proof that is... Because again, Adam, I always want proof. I always want proof. He said it, wait. I want to see or hear where he actually said it. That's where I'm going to go to. Okay, because I know where you're going.
We know what he said about McCain being captured. If you want the proof, we can roll the tape.
No, I heard that. He's not. He's not. By the way, he's not Jesus Christ, Adam. This guy's not Jesus Christ.
What's your question, Adam?
What's the question?
I'm just asking, as a former military member.
Yeah.
If these are true.
Yeah.
Does this not give you some sort of pause?
If it is true,
they're
meaning,
true,
of course it would bother someone. Mind you, what he said about McCain, not the coolest thing. When blows come to blow, bro, this guy, like I said, gamer, and doesn't like anybody betraying him or anybody talking shit. And going back to your initial point when you talked about who was it, Pompeo, who was all his Bill Barr, all these people. What other choice did Trump have? He's coming in. He wanted to run independent, couldn't. Had to become Republican. Now, once you're in, you won. You didn't even really think that you were going to win. Now you're in. Does he really have a choice, Liz, on who he picks as all these people? Meaning, he doesn't. They were telling him, Mike Pence is probably going to be your best choice. This person, the generals, you don't have no choice. They're already appointed. All these other people in his circle, Adam, he had to have them. And then guess what? Gradually throughout time, people's true colors show. Nikki Haley, maybe, he liked her at the beginning, but then she turns on him. And his attitude changes.
I'll say something here to move on.
What do you mean? What don't you
guys,
know?
we got 27 minutes. I got Max 7 call. I can't go over today. Today's Tuesday. So a couple things I will say. One, I don't know if I would say bird brain after this podcast, after this debate. Why? Complete different reason. When you're choosing VP, you need the other people to think that she could be a possible candidate to be a VP. As a president, you have to be unpredictable when it comes down to your VP. Why are you already undermining her? It automatically tells everybody that's not the VP. Why are you doing that? Strategically, it doesn't make any sense. There's no reason to say something like this with bird brain. Just leave it alone, okay, to make a comment like that. I think for me, it's more coming from the strategy standpoint. You're giving too much up by every time somebody's doing good on the GOP debate. You know what he is saying to everybody? What he's saying to everybody is the fact that his VP is not on that stage. That's what he's saying. So the VP is now, so is it going to be Christie? Is that who you're going to go after? And maybe you're not going to take Pence because it's like you lost Indiana anyway. So what was the purpose of getting Pence? Maybe you got the Christian voter, but you lost Indiana. So if you get Christie, it's like, oh, you're trying to win Dakota? Well, no, it doesn't matter anyway. So he's giving too much of his hand, which is not of him when it comes down to this. That's the only thing I would say. Second thing is, you said something very offensive on who he fired. You said he fired Bill Burr. He never fired Bill Burr.
Bill Barr.
I want to make sure we clarify that's very offensive when you go after a comedian like that, because I
that's
love
not
the guy.
Look.
It was Bill Barr.
You're right.
He fired.
English is
Bill
my
Burr
second language.
would
Yeah.
never be fired under Trump. It just wouldn't happen.
I could see Bill Burr and the comedian Don Rickles, a.k.a. Donald Trump, going on tour together.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.